Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I am so excited to get started with this Spider-Man No Way Home uniform because it is an absolute beast of a uniform, and you are going to crush it with him once you master this rotation. So I'm showing you what he can do against Proxima. We're going to show you what he can do against Mephisto. We're going to give you some other baselines for characters. I'm going to talk about the rotation and everything you need to know. But the first thing you need to know is that this uniform is absolutely nutty. Absolutely nutty. That's right. Sub 30 seconds on stage 99. No strikers. No all defense down shenanigans. All right, here we go. Spidey versus Mephisto. The matchup I never thought would happen at this stage. 30 freaking 5. We're going to do 2 cancel 1 here after our proc because it builds up our tier 3 faster. Then we go ahead into our next rotation. Nice damage there. And we're going to wait for about 2 seconds left on the 5, and then we're going to go in. He does get guard broken a lot more now, but that's okay. You can offset that by either using a mighty energy or a mighty destruction for the guard break, or wait for Nick Fury to get his tier 3. Oh, I think we missed our proc there, but we did get the maximum accumulation, so it's not bad. We won't be able to push him in the first phase anyways. Like, we do have to go through the rage outburst. Spidey doesn't do quite enough damage with a 160 proc, maybe with a 200 proc, because it only takes 1 rotation here to push him to the next phase. And bada bing, bada boom. Look at those numbers, bro. 600k plus, sub 1 minute. So consistent. So consistent. I'm not going for the full accumulation every single time. As you can see, I'm comfortable canceling the 3 just a little bit early because I know that I would rather get the proc to land, right? You don't always need to swing for the fences, basically. Like, yeah, getting the full accumulation is nice and you will do more damage, but it's better to nail all of your procs and get some of the best accumulations and some 0.8 accumulations than it is to you know, miss rotation. So here we're gonna do, I tried to cancel into 6, but I tried to cancel 4 into 6, but I couldn't. That's fine. We'll wait for the next rotation. One of the things I really like about Spider-Man against Mephisto as well is that the 5th skill gives you movement. So you can use that movement to get away from Mephisto when you're swinging on 5 and doing certain attacks. Here we kind of, unfortunately, lose more time than we wanted to because of this animation, but here we go. Gorgeous, bro. 7-8 bars worth of damage. So consistent. I've missed. So that even wasn't me missing the proc. That was the proc just being delayed because it was being a schmo. But super consistent proc, man. I love it. I love it. He's so proc friendly. Really, really good stuff here. We're gonna wind up. Pop it off and let's go. 1, 2, 3. And here you can also use the 5 to move away from these very scary purple circular attacks. Okay. Ooh, little bit of a sticky situation on the 6 here. We are leaving some damage on the table. I don't know if it was the targeting that was off, but could not cancel 4 into 6. Oh, we're early here. Okay, that's my first major mess up. You have to pay attention to the 5. It's good that I messed up so you can see what it looks like. You got to pay attention to the 5, and you need to not start 3 before 5 has about 2 seconds left. If it's got more than 2 seconds left on 5, then you're not going to want to start it just yet. Okay, we're gonna get a cutscene here. The other cool thing is because he has I believe he has debuff immunity on his 4. You can actually deal damage during this phase. You can sort of play peekaboo with him. So you can see here, he's not gonna stun me because I'm sort of behind him, and so you can ignore to an extent. You can ignore the stuns, and there you go. That was a 4-minute clear, and I definitely could have done that faster. I made at least 2 mistakes. It's honestly It's honestly so good. I sort of lost the hype from yesterday, but he's just so strong now, and he basically just broke the game because he's that good. He's honestly so strong, and the thing that I want to show you now is probably the thing that's going to solidify it the most for me. I'm not saying you should do this, but look at this. I can switch him over to the red uniform, use this PvP team with Molecule Man. I know that Molecule Man ignores part of Spider-Man's buffs, but it doesn't matter because on the flip side, he ignores all of the buffs your enemy will use, like Hela and Colossus and stuff like that. And then Spider-Man's just free to completely dunk the other team. And the crazy part is I don't have a PvP build, but that's how strong this Spider-Man is. So we're gonna let this Molecule Man die, and then we're gonna switch and watch the AI. Watch the AI for Spider-Man. He's just gonna spam 4 and then spam 5 and then spam 3. The AI is so good for Spider-Man. It's insane. Look at this. 4. He gets guard broken there. It's fine. He's gonna go 4 again. Oh, Sentry gets webbed up. How do you feel getting webbed up, dog? Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with Spidey in PvP, bro. And look at this. Boom. Just 5 and 4, and everybody just takes a hike. He's gonna clap Colossus there. No one is safe from the webbed menace. He's so unbelievably meta. It's crazy. We're just gonna go down the list. Just going down the list of the top players in Vibranium PvP, you can see that Spider-Man is actually able, again, completely without a PvP build. Like, yeah, I have the Uru, but that's all he's got going for him PvP wise. Otherwise, a completely PvE build, just the uniform being changed, and that's really enough because the AI is so clutch, just spamming 4, 5, and 3 in basically the perfect rotation. It's like a human was playing Spider-Man right now and doing exactly what I would want here. And look at this. Sentry just says good night. Completely ace, didn't even take damage. I get the accumulation here, then I'm going to interrupt his 5 with my 4. This is probably going to ace him. Boom. I do take some damage here from the fire, but we just clap right out of it. He might die here to reflect, but otherwise, it's crazy, bro. And he's only going to perform better when you give him a proper PvP build rather than using him for PvE and then just sliding him into PvP. But it's honestly like, we get very few characters that are this strong, and Spider-Man is definitely, like, check this out. He's definitely earning his billing in the meta for this one. It's honestly crazy. He's gonna die here. We're gonna let Molecule Man die to this 4th skill. He basically always dies like that, no matter what. Switch over to Spidey. Switch over to Spidey, and it's lights out for Dr. Doom. Just completely world ended, bro. Just completely world ended. Look at that. Just completely clapped. Hela, no chance, bro. I think this Hela has the artifact as well. Look at this. With the artifact, getting the heal back, getting the immunity, whatever it's called. The immortality for 7 seconds, I believe. Not enough. Bye-bye. Crazy, dude. And then here's the best part. He finishes with the tier 3 skill. So you get the coolest, you get the absolute coolest victory screen of all time when he's dancing. Dancing on the corpses of your enemies could not be more satisfying. So I really am just so hype and gushing over how cool Spider-Man is. And the other, like, there's just so many good things about the character. I literally have almost nothing bad to say about the character. He has this really cool idle animation, whereas most enemies just stand there. I think Sentry will, like, do this energy burst, but Spidey, he does the full, like, spider sense webbing, and you even hear the sirens from the cop cars that are looking for him. I love it. I absolutely love it. There's just nothing, oh man, nothing bad to say at all. We're ranked 277 in large part because I have all the uniforms mythic. We've got 1 Odin's Blessing. Everything else is just Uru, regular, you know, mythic and legendary Uru. We have no artifact, although it's a defensive artifact, so just keep that in mind. We have Power of Angry Hulk stage 10. I think Power of Angry Hulk, Hawk's Eye, or Overdrive is all fine for Spidey. I would say save your gold and don't sweat it too much. We've got a crit damage recovery 160 proc. The crit damage is nice, the 160 proc is nice as well, but keep in mind I'm 38% overcapped on my crit damage, and if you look, this gives me 37%, which means without the crit damage, my Spider-Man would still be capped on his crit damage because of his passive giving him, not his passive, sorry, his uniform effect, I believe. That gives him 50% increased crit damage. So you can easily cap all of his important skills. I'm talking dodge, crit rate, crit damage, cooldown, ignore defense. with lots of room to spare on your build. I actually rolled recovery rate on spider patterns because I literally have nothing else to roll, because everything else is capped. It's super duper easy to cap Spider-Man's stats. And then as for the uniform, we did go over the options, but I'll go over them one more time. We got Rogue Excalibur, Black Panther 3099, Dormammu Damnation, Kamala Khan Inhumans, Adelan Rising, and Blue Marvel Classic. Those are the rolls for the stats. Again, I don't need attack speed or cooldown or dodge, so I went with crowd control time. These two are always going to be attack for me because I don't need the crit damage or the crit rate, and you shouldn't need it for Spidey either. And then the all defense is best here because I don't need the dodge, and then the HP is best there as well. One big thing you're going to notice with your Spider-Man that may be difficult to ascertain why or figure out why is his base stats are really high. Like, I looked at my Spider-Man and I was like, I know I gave him 8 or 7, 8. I know I gave him 8 HP Urus, but like almost 90,000 HP? That's a lot, dude. Like that's a lot of HP. So I went ahead and investigated in the Marvel Universe tab. Actually, someone on Twitch pointed this out to me. If you go ahead and look at his, just go ahead and look at his other uniform. Take this uniform, for example, from Far From Home, and take a look at the base stats. 9,200 base physical attack, and then whatever for the defenses, that's fine, and then 24,000 HP. So I just want you to remember 9,200 and 24,200. Now you take a look at the new uniforms, and his attack vaults up from 9,200 to 12,500. That's more than 3,000 physical attack added. Just flat physical attack added before anything else. It doesn't matter what your cards are. It doesn't matter what your build is. And then his HP jumps from 24,000 to 35,000, which is an increase of 11,200 or 300. Crazy. And they also bumped his defense stat. His physical and energy defense. So Spidey's base stats are so much better now. This is a top to bottom, like, you know, zero to hero rework. I cannot, you know, stress enough how insane this rework is. So that's the build. Let's just recap quickly what these uniforms are for, just in case you missed it from the video earlier today. This uniform, the black and gold one, because of the increase to attack and because of all of the hits and the time freeze, this uniform is PvE oriented. It's going to outperform any of his other uniforms by a large margin in PvE. And then on the flip side, this red uniform is by and large gonna produce really good results in PvP against other players' builds and other players' accounts, killing Dr. Dooms, sentries, and things like that, because you trade the 30% attack boost for 5 seconds of iframe ignore and invisibility. So really, really powerful stuff. Well, it's not invisibility. He basically has a really long iframe. It sort of looks like invisibility because he also goes invisible, but it's not the same thing as invisibility. But yeah, it's really busted. So red is the clear winner for PvP. Black is the clear winner for PvE. So I'm going to be doing, you know, all of my PvE testing with this uniform and all of my PvP testing with the other uniform. It's really up to you as a player to decide whether you want your Spidey to do one thing or another thing really well, but he really can do one or the other thing really well. But I wouldn't say use the black one for PvP or use the red one for PvE. I just wouldn't say that because it's just not going to do very much for him. As far as a PvP build does go for Spider-Man, my suggestion for you would obviously be to load up on HP Urus, load up on the double HP Odin's Blessing, the heal Odin's Blessing as well. Maybe give him as well some physical attack or strike Odin's Blessings to increase his physical attack, but you definitely want to play up his HP now that he has so much of it. As for custom gear, I think there are still a lot of options. If you are really hoping to max out and really like go hard on Spidey and PvP, giggity, you're gonna want to wait for more testing, because I think there's 3 great contenders for PvP. There's a Mighty or a Brilliant Greed for just like insane burst damage. There's a Mighty or a Brilliant Authority for damage reduction and super guard break immunity. And then there's a Mighty or a Brilliant Regen, because Spidey has enough HP now to take advantage of that regen bubble. I'm a little bit less sure about the regen. I would probably be leaning towards the Authority myself, because I like the defensive nature of it and it might protect him from like the revive Cersei meta and stuff like that. But I think it's still early, a little bit too early to be sure about a PvP build for him. But it's really nice that he has so many options. I will briefly talk about Destruction, because I've seen quite a few people talk about the Mighty Destruction and how they think it's like the best hybrid build for Spider-Man. Again, not a regular Destruction, a Mighty Destruction. The Strike proc for a Mighty Destruction is very good for Spider-Man because it gives him Ignore Dodge, and he doesn't have Ignore Dodge. on his kit. He has very little ignore dodge. I think his tier 3 gives him 25%, which is nothing. So yeah, the strike proc would be very, very good. Obviously, for any world boss content, it would be great against Null specifically, but also good for Mephisto. The reason why I don't think it's good for PvP, although like a proc is good for PvP and guard break is necessary for PvP, is because he already gets 70% penetration for 5 seconds, and he spams the skill every 5 seconds. So you basically have a permanent 70% chance to penetrate, and that's not going to combine with the mighty proc. It's going to just ignore it, right? So that 30% chance to penetrate just doesn't, it's not even there. So this is just a guard break. I mean, it would be, honestly, a mighty CTP in PvP would be similar, a mighty destruction would be similar to like a guard break 40% ignore dodge proc obelisk. It wouldn't be exactly the same because it's 100% ignore dodge versus 40%, but the strike ability increases damage to boss types. That doesn't do anything in PvP. It's just the ignore dodge. So yeah, I'm not really sure that a mighty destruction would be good, but what I want to try now, because we've seen how insane he is with an obelisk, and he's like honestly busted, I want to see how well he's going to do with a CTP of energy. Back on stage 35, let's see now how much faster this is going to go. Oh, buddy, I'm seeing 100. I'm seeing a million. I'm seeing 6 digits. We are seeing 6 digits, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that damage. Holy cow. Wow. You got to be pretty close. But I'm seeing, you got to be pretty close to do the 6. Wow, we're done. Phase 1's over. So sandwiching him here is kind of nice. Because, yeah, my insight does not want to proc, which is nice. Always nice. Get the full proc here. Bang out all these bars. Gorgeous. And the really nice thing is you can use the 5. I didn't quite do it there, but you can use the 5 to move away from Mephisto because it's a V-pad skill. So when you see him doing that tornado, you can interrupt it. Or not interrupt it. You can kind of like dodge it, right? But here we go. We're going to be able to pull off our patented 3, 4, 6, 5 combo. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. We're barely a minute in, and he's already done 2 phases. Oh, and he's fast enough to run through. Pop the heal. Finish him off here. No proc. Nice. The other nice thing is Spider-Man's second skill actually does a lot of damage. So you can actually, if you miss a proc, you can proc on 2. We got the full proc here. Yes, baby. You can also use the V-pad to dodge the purple circles. This death attack. Gotta be a little bit quick sometimes, but it's worth it. Oh, big damage, big damage. Oh, he iframed. Oh. Bro, we're flying right now. We are flying. You can also use the V-pad skill like Colobsidian to do damage during this stun phase. So while he's stunning you, you can just kind of spin around him and continue to do damage. But I think we're gonna finish him off here. Oh, I have a hard time sometimes canceling into 6 from 4. So we're actually just going to spam random skills here because this should be enough damage. And there we go. 1:25 faster. More than a minute faster, going from a 160 proc to a 200 proc CTP of energy. He did that in half the stage time. 225. That's super fast. And I cannot wait to put him head to head with someone like Makari, because I think he is probably the closest we have. I think he outpaces Falcon, Captain Falcon, for the second best speed type in the game. But yeah, I'll save that for another video. We'll do a head-to-head, but I am so impressed with Spider-Man, and you should be too. Hopefully this gives you some build ideas and some recommendations for how to proceed with your Spider-Man. And if you haven't already tier 3'd him, what are you waiting for? Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.